Well, hello, Aries. How's everyone doing? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. This is Kelly from Deep Soul Tarot. We're getting ready to, or we're going to be doing your monthly read for July 2023. This is a timeless read. So if you're not able to see this, if you come across this past July, these are timeless. So it's 30 days from when you are watching it. But for now, I'm doing this the end of June. I'm basing it for the next 30 days, which will be July 2023. I'm having some serious issues. I was uploading readings, and the other day it took me all day to upload. It was Pisces. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to upload this. My intention was to get these out before the 1st of July, and I had them all scheduled out. I have yours and Taurus left, so it may be a little bit late. I apologize for that, but I can't control the internet here. I was using the hotspot on my phone, and I guess I used up what little bit of data I have on there, and now it's just slow as molasses. It's barely working, so just so you know. But this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and it is a general read, so it may not resonate for all of you. Now, Aries, I was channeling your energy before I started, and I don't know if this is going to resonate for anyone, but the word I heard was balloon. And I sat with that for a minute to see if I get any more information. And so what I heard was you're either blowing up balloons for a party, or you're receiving a balloon from someone as like a congratulations. Now I know it's not a birthday balloon because your season is not here right now. So unless you went to a party, a birthday party, some party, something to do with balloons, unless some of you are lucky enough to be taking this summer, a hot air balloon ride. And if that's the case, I am jelly about that because that sounds pretty cool. I don't know, excuse me. You all tell me down below in the comments if balloon means anything to anybody. I did hear red balloon. So I really don't know. I don't know, Aries, but let's see what's going on in your general energy. So how we're going to do this, if you're not familiar with my readings, is for right now we're doing some general energies up here, and then down here we're going to do relationships, personal growth, like work and health and things like that, and then some advice. So stick around for the whole reading because you don't want to miss anything. You don't want to miss a possible message for you at the end, because a lot of times in the middle of a reading it can take a turn. It may not resonate in the beginning, but it can take a turn. Let's do one more shuffle here, Aries. It's my reading or anybody else's. If you can't watch it all right now, just pause it and watch the rest later, or however you want to do it. But that's what I usually do with readings. If I'm interrupted, and then and ooh, this card, man, I need some tape. I do not have any tape, but this card is pretty mangled. I've been using these cards a lot. All my real cards, or not that these aren't real cards, but my other cards, my cards that I've always worked with, are in my storage. I'm in a temporary place right now, and I having a tough time. All my personal items are in storage, and I miss my cards so much. I have my Moonology deck and everything for the moon readings. I miss them. Anyways, all right, right now, Aries, you're in a state of the wounded warrior. You've been wounded by something and are about to give up. But so it's been kind of a dark period for you. For some of you, Aries. Like I said, it's a general read. It may not resonate for all of you. But for some of you, it's been a very dark sort of period where you've been kind of laying low, which is not really Aries energy. So that's how you know something's not quite right. Larry. Is somebody out there named Larry? Hey, Larry. Sorry. Hey, Lisa. By the way, Lisa Zane, if you by chance are watching this, I don't know if you watch these anymore, but she's an Aries, so hello. I forget to mention you in your Libra moon readings, the Libra readings, but I do remember you in the Aries. I think of you often, Lisa. Anyway, she's one of my OGs that started when I first started my channel, so I'll never forget her or another person named Wanda, but I believe I'm not sure, I think she might be a Scorpio. Libra, Scorpio? I can't remember. Anyways, not that you care about that, but Larry. Aries, you kind of know when Aries, I have Aries friends, and I can always tell, it's one particular, it's a male, I can always tell when he's in this, even though we live apart, we don't live in the same area. I'm in California, he's at the top of California, and I'm somewhere in the middle, but it's a distance, it's a good 8-9 hour drive, So we're pretty far apart, but I can always tell even by his posts on Facebook a lot of the times. He's not quite in the right state of mind. And when Aries start to isolate themselves, I think that's when they can realize that you can realize something's not quite right. And that's how I'm feeling here. But the reason I'm mentioning that, Aries, is because the Judgment card is coming out of that, having some sort of spiritual awakening, that you are now coming out of that feeling reborn. So although you may have been wounded and maybe have isolated yourself and about to give up on a certain situation, I'm hearing you just kind of giving up on a situation as a whole. It could be a person. Let's see your energy here. This is your current self. Yeah, see, so something has ended. This is the card that I mangled, the death card. This is you. That part of you is ending. I think you're in the healing phase, Aries. And now you are coming out of that darkness, back out into the light and feeling reborn. You worked through a lot of this. If you're in a relationship or dealing with somebody, this is a Scorpio card. Just to let everyone know, just in case. Larry. Okay. Your theme for the month or the next 30 days, because I don't know if I said it, but these are timeless reads. I think I did. Timeless reads. So that's how I conduct all my reads. So whenever you watch it, it's usually 30 days moving forward and moving on. But for right now, we're focusing on July 2023 for the people who are watching June, July. Hopefully I'll get it out. Hopefully. We're going to try tonight, so let's see. The World card, yes. See, the theme for the month is you're ending, this is the end of a cycle. This is the end of this dark period, Aries, which is great. This is great. So we have things to look forward to for the summer. So July moving forward, the next 30 days moving forward. We have things that we're starting a whole new beginning and things to look forward to. There may be things to work through, but because it's Saturn retrograde. So karmic lessons may be coming back to us, but that's a good thing. And I'm going to do a video on that if I can. Saturn retrograde Saturn's all about responsibilities and lessons, and I won't get into all the details, but with it being in retrograde, this is karmic lessons that maybe we didn't quite tie up loose ends, basically, is what it is. And this gives us an opportunity to revisit those unlearned lessons and deal with them and get them out of our energy so it's gone. So this may be what this is, actually, for you, Aries. You may be going through some of that Saturn retrograde energy. Whatever you dealt with may have been, very well been, a karmic lesson. I believe it went retrograde June 17th, and Saturn stays retrograde until November, I think, 5th. So we've got, a good 5 months of Saturn retrograde, okay? All right, so let's see. We have the key goal for this next 30 days. Yeah, leaving that emotional baggage behind. Whatever has made you emotionally unfulfilled, emptied your cups. You're emotionally empty about something. Now, it could be a relationship, but it doesn't have to be specifically. It can be about anything that is making you emotionally feel not quite fulfilled in your life, okay? So a possible obstacle, justice. The possible obstacle could be balance here. Balance with your emotions and your thoughts, I just heard. It's interesting because justice is kind of like the karma card also. Because at this point, Aries, in your situation, at this point in your life or on your journey, you've come to a point, again, where those karmic lessons in the past are now coming to the forefront and being presented to you in a way where you have to be painfully honest with yourself at this point about the things in your life that are causing you the imbalance. There's some sort of karmic lessons. There's some sort of, as I said earlier, there's things that it's tying up those loose ends. Things that weren't quite taken care of are now going to be, you have that opportunity to face that truth and deal with those and get those out of the way so you can move forward with a brand new clean slate, if that makes any sense. Now your actions right now, yeah, moving forward. Well, this is great, Aries. This is just like cut and dry. Moving forward, willing yourself forward no matter what happens. Leaving that baggage behind, facing the truth, and moving forward. It sounds easier said than done, I suppose. Okay, personal relationships. So, if you did have a relationship, now I'm just going to touch on this for anybody who was dealing with the relationship and that's resonating for them relationship-wise. Scorpio card, Scorpio energy, Libra card, Libra energy, Cancer card, Cancer energy. So far you have 2 waters and 1 air. So far. This card here, relationship-wise, is right now you are preferring to stay single. I'm not hearing that you're looking for love. So I am getting the impression that some of you may have dealt with some sort of possible love situation with the 8 of Cups here. But yeah, the air conditioning's on and normally I'm hot, freezing over here. My hands are cold. I think it's like 80-something degrees outside too. But I like it cold. All right, your personal growth, Aries. Yeah, so you went from being in that, I don't really want to talk to anybody. I really don't want to deal with anything or anybody right now. In your own little world, lacking the zest for life, which I know the fire signs have, and particularly Aries. You Aries are go-getters, and you like to keep busy, and so this is your personal growth is dealing with this emotional, some sort of resistance, emotional resistance. It's almost like you were trying to avoid dealing with these emotions. You just didn't want to have to deal with them, and maybe they've come back up to the forefront now with Saturn in retrograde. Maybe they're coming back up, and you hadn't dealt with them. And now you're going to walk away from it. Or at least in the month of July or the next 30 days, it's a time for you to work through these emotions and weed out those bad ones, that emotional baggage. You don't need that anymore. You don't need that anymore. Okay? Health and career. So my first thought when I saw this, the 5 of Swords, I thought mental health, because the swords are all about the logic, cerebral things. Not so much emotion, unless it's, it could be some sort of passionate thing, and there's some sort of unsettling situation, specifically with communication and the thoughts. So this could, we'll start with the health. It could be mental health, specifically mental health. So I think you were not spending a lot of time alone, off thinking by yourself, being resistant to any communication or any type of connection with people for the time being, and basically not in a good mental health place, not in a good place mentally, is what I mean. Your mental health was suffering, whether it be just negative thoughts, anxiety, that kind of thing. Just not avoiding positive. Not wanting to see the positive, because right now you're in a low vibrational, negative mode. But that means that's something that either needs to be worked on, or maybe you're working through with this Justice card here and the emotional baggage being left behind. But you may have some sort of altercation with somebody in regards to this, or some sort of argument or nasty words were exchanged, possibly. And in this case, it's pick and choose your battles, Aries. First Larry, now Aries. Are you twins? I don't know what's going on here. Pick and choose your battles. Because sometimes some battles aren't worth fighting for. What's the point? Because really, when we argue with people, they're not going to hear us. If they're that kind of person that is confrontational, they're just not going to hear you. And what's the point? Why waste your energy on that? So you might want to think about that. Now, this could be a work situation where you have some sort of disagreement or altercation at work. Be careful with that, because if you have a job, and in these days, sometimes they're kind of hard to come by these days, you might want to hold your tongue, Aries, hold your tongue, because you don't want to cause disruption at work. You don't want to lose your job. I've known Aries who just let it roll, and they've had problems keeping jobs because of that. And I'm not saying they're not right. A lot of the times when Aries will just say whatever, and they try to prove a point. A lot of times they are correct and they are right. But in the corporate world, that is not always looked positively upon, fondly upon. And, that is totally up to you. You have free will. I'm just letting you know that it could be a little shaky in the workplace. Now, the advice for you, thank God, I thought it was going to be the patience card, and you haven't gotten it so far yet, is you are victorious in this situation. Moving forward, in the month of July, the next 30 days, although there may be some rough patches and dealing with some karmic lessons that may not have been fully dealt with, this is the end of a cycle. Think of July as whatever happens is okay. We're going to get through this month, because I know at the end, for the next 30 days, I know at the end that after all this is said and done, I will come out victorious. So even if you say something, you speak your mind at work, maybe you've held your tongue, and all of a sudden you finally let it rip, and your coworkers are like, I almost said something else. I got to be careful here. I'm trying not to curse. They don't YouTube. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to get to my 1,000 subscribers and get myself at least into a monetized position. And I don't want to screw it up by swearing, but F&A, you go, Aries, because you've said to either your boss, you said it to somebody whom everybody else wanted to say but just held back and didn't, but they're finally glad that somebody did. But through this all, whatever it is, even if it's not work, you're going to be successful. Let's get some clarification, my dear Aries. I love you, Aries. I really do. I love your energy. I love your forthrightness. But sometimes people don't appreciate that, And I can agree. Sometimes Aries can let it rip a little too much, including my friends. I have more than one Aries friend, but this one in particular. I remember we went to a reunion, his reunion one time, and he came down to my area, because he's from this area, but he came down to the area. That's too many cards, sorry. He came down to this area very quickly. Story time. He came down to this area for a reunion, and he asked, because we were still friends, even, we had kind of gotten together in the past, and we've been friends for a really long time, for a good long time. And he asked if I wanted to go to hang out with him and whatever, and I didn't go to the reunion, he did, but I hung out with him, and he just got to the hotel. I swear to God, it wasn't even 10 minutes. We got to the room, he went to get ice, and when he came back, he was all in a tizzy and just irritated and agitated because it was someone from high school that apparently he didn't get along with, and they got into it there at the hotel. 10 minutes of him being there, and I was like, oh my God. But he's like so much fun. So much fun. When he shows up, the life of the party's here. Party can start now. He's here. But I was laughing because I'm like, oh. All right, we're going to do the death card here, if I can get a card to come out. Sorry, Aries, I just had to tell that story. I always think fondly of that story. Aries. Something has ended, and again, here's the spending some time alone card. Relationship-wise. This is a Virgo card, so if you were dealing with a Virgo, here's the Virgo card. But it's like hermit mode. Right now, you have been in hermit mode. Up to this point, you have been in hermit mode. And maybe, because energy is fluid. That's why these are timeless. Time is an illusion, and energy is fluid. So some of this may have already happened. Some of it is going to happen in the next 30 days, and maybe some of it's going to happen past that. That's why these readings are timeless, because even though it's got kind of a timeline in mind, like I said, I conduct these 30 days of moving forward. So not everybody experiences everything at the same time. It's divine timing for everyone. And so what may happen for you, one of you Aries out there, may happen to somebody 3 weeks or next month or whatever. And so that's why. But anyways, you're in hermit mode. And if you haven't been in hermit mode, you may want to take a little time and do a little soul searching and figure out what direction you want to go in. Because, the more you think about it and the more you plan, Aries, and I know you Aries like to be spontaneous, but sometimes it's better to just hold back and be with yourself and think about your next direction. And if it's not already there, something is going to end. It's going to make you feel so much better. You're going to come out of that dark period. You're going to come out of that little hermit hole, your little cave, and it's going to be the end of a cycle. Okay? Let's tell her. Something happened. Something happened, or it's going to happen, Aries. And it's going to take you. You're going to have to take a moment and go back to the drawing board and say, okay, all right, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with this BS. You know, whether it happened to you or you do it, I mean, this could be the tower moment. You at work or whomever you're dealing with could just be a coworker and say, I'm done with this. Speak in your mind. All right. Where are we here? Ooh, we're kind of far in here. It's going to be at least a half an hour here. Let's do the Eight of Cups. Let's do the Eight of Cups. What position is this? This is the key goal for your month. Moving away from emotional baggage. So let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, here we go. It's a lesson. This is a lesson for you. Definitely a lesson. And at the end of it, you're going to end up being much happier in the long run. In the long run. It's going to be, the Ten of Pentacles is, it's the completion of, again, it's basically a karmic lesson, a completion of a lesson, and you're going to reap the benefits of that, though. So I do feel that Saturn retrograde is going to touch you in a much deeper way than maybe some of the other signs right now, because some sort of karmic lesson may have come back to you. And it may be just be some old, you may be done and gone with a relationship or whatever this emotional situation is, the emotional emptiness, but it's come back for some reason. You're like, why am I thinking about this now? That's because there's probably some residue, you may not have dealt with it fully and moved on from it. And this is the chance to do that and come out on top. Yeah, some sort of heartbreak. You had some sort of heartbreak, and you're moving away from that. This is great, Aries. This is great energy. Great energy. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have, don't want to do justice? All right, let's do justice just to see, Larry and Aries. Sorry, I'm never going to forget that now. I know that was probably stemmed from the word Aries. It just wasn't coming out right. But yeah, maybe I'm the only one that's amused by that. You know, sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself to get through things. All right, leave me alone, Aries. Let me have my moment. All right. Oh, fuck, there it is. Yeah, we just can't get through a reading without you getting the Temperance card here, the Patience card here, Aries. But really, not hearing so much patience. Well, maybe have patience with yourself right now. But I'm hearing with this Justice card, you're healing. You're healing. So the truth is coming out. You may have already had this happen, but you weren't being maybe honest with yourself. That's what I'm hearing, Justice. That's what I'm hearing, Aries. That this is giving you the chance of accepting that maybe you do have a little emotional residue. For some of you, Aries, maybe not all of you, but for some of you, there's a situation that has left you emotionally hurt, and it's a time to heal. The Three of Swords is that came up is a time of getting some sort of clarity and making some sort of, at a crossroads, making some sort of decision about the situation, that although you make a decision, you're still hurt. You're still hurt inside. You know it's a decision you have to make, and it's giving you the chance to heal from it, to mourn that and move on. And I'm thinking you may have done some work, but I'm thinking there may be a little bit of residue left there that you need to now still heal. So this is, be at peace with it. Accept it and be at peace with it, and leave the past in the past. Because on the bottom of the deck here you have the Fool. It's time to start a whole new journey, this is right after the World card. This is finishing a cycle, and now we're beginning a whole new one. Happy summer to you, Aries. Let's go forward and have some fun. We're going to do the Four of Cups. Your personal growth. Personal growth. What do we have? What can you tell Aries about their personal growth right now? The Four of Cups. Why is the Four of Cups here? What is it they need to know? What is it they can do more of to help them through this? Four of Cups, please. Spirit. Yay! Don't mind that, Spirit and I are having an argument. Ace of Wands. Your personal growth is while you were sitting in your chambers, Justice, by yourself, thinking about life and the things that have happened and why certain things happen to you, karma, The role you've played in that's a good thing for justice. What is the role you've played in these situations? Because all those situations come up in our life, we all have a role somehow in them. Okay? And we all have a role in how we perceive them and deal with them. Then you're going to start a new beginning, and you're going to be inspired. It's going to light a fire under your arse there, Aries. You went from being blah and just, I don't care about any effing thing that comes my way, I don't want to do anything, to all of a sudden going, you know what, F that. F that. I'm not going to let them have that control over me. F that and this whole freaking situation. Whoa, I almost said it. Okay. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups? Knight of Cups, yes. Oh, this is great because now you're moving forward. You're at a point where maybe you dealt with, see the little horse's hoof? You dealt with part of the emotion, but there was still a little bit in there, Aries. And it was still bugging you. It was still kind of haunting you. But now, you're going to put that other foot in the water and say, I'm going to be open that heart chakra, be open to love, be open to let people back into your life, and get past whatever this situation was. Okay? I hear that this is for the Five of Swords, by the way. And I think these cards, there's 3 of them upside down. This is the last one, but this could be a bit. I'm hearing that July or the next 30 days is going to be a period of real growth for you, Aries. Okay? Let's see what we have here for the Five of Swords that's in reverse. The Five of Swords is in the career, it's home life, career, and health. I'm thinking it's health for you, but if it's career, so I'm going to do these came in reverse, but we have the Devil, the Four of Cups again, and the Queen of Pentacles. So we're going to start with this. Okay, it's in reverse though, the Devil. I'm hearing with this toxic energy here 2 things. First thing, Aries, I'm hearing specifically that normally you may engage in this toxic energy, but being that the Devil's in reverse, you have chosen not to. You realize that this is a lost cause, and you're just not going to engage. This person's toxic. I'm not going to mirror that energy. I'm not going to accept that energy in my life. And the Devil, or you're avoiding it. You're avoiding facing some sort of toxic. If you have a response to this person, and I understand it's hard when people are irritating and you want to just tell them, but I mean, again, it's not really worth it, especially if it's a job. All right, so let's move on to the Four of Cups. So that is keeping you in this energy of blahness by engaging. If you choose not to engage with the Four of Cups in reverse, you are saying, I am not accepting. You're not going to have this effect on my life where it's going to ruin my life and keep me in a low vibrational period. Okay. Which brings us to the Queen of Pentacles. Upright, the Queen of Pentacles. Feminine energy, because I'm going to say she or he, she, probably her. But there's no gender in Tarot. Just so y'all know. She knows her own worth. All right? She's in touch with her feelings. She's in touch with herself. Sure, she's got passion, and if you cross her, she'll go off on you. She's pretty harsh, the Queen of Pentacles. She's got kind of that diva energy. In reverse, this is Earth energy, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if you're dealing with one of those. With this Five of Wands, if you're dealing with an Earth sign, and it's at work, or whomever you're dealing with, if you cross them, it's not going to be a pretty situation. And if you argue with them, she's going to take these swords probably, and she like the Queen of Swords, but the Queen of Swords is ruthless. She at least has some heart. And she's a pretty patient energy. So to me, this is losing the patience. You may lose your patience. It depends on how you, again, with the karmic lesson, it depends on how you deal with it. You can be the bigger person here, Aries, and just walk away and be victorious. You may speak your piece and then just walk away. Don't even engage in the continual argument. If they still try to keep it going, you're like, I'm done. I said my piece. I'm done. I'm moving on. Now let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Pentacles. Slowly but surely you will come out of this, wanting to be alone phase, your hermit phase, and there you go. Starting with self-love. Little by little, you're going to get back to yourself. back to yourself the way you were before all this happened. It's that phase is over. That cycle is over. Let's move on. Moving on. Moving on, Aries. And the Ace of Cups is self-love, possibly true love. You're now, we went from the Nine of Pentacles, of being emotionally satisfied with either being alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. You're happy on your own 2 feet. If love happens to come along, well, that's great. Then you'll have 10 of Cups. But for now, you're good on your own. Aries, I'm liking this. Yeah, you went from being the... Whoa, oh, look at this. You got the 2 of... So you may have new love coming in. Just going to say with the 2 of... Either that or it's being in touch with your masculine and feminine sides, which is possible. You went from being the wounded soldier to healing from that, getting rid of that burden, and now it's the Judgment card, which is being reborn, finishing that cycle out, and going towards a new one. Beautiful. So this is going to be a good summer for you, Aries. That's what I'm hearing. My beautiful Aries, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry, it's a half an hour. If I want to get the right messages out, I got to take the time to do it. I'm not going to apologize for that, because that's how I conduct the readings, okay? It's not a foo-foo, just 15 minutes. Let's just throw it out there and then just get some views. I want you to get the full message. Okay, Aries, I love you all. I do. Have a beautiful summer. I don't know how many other readings past these zodiac reads I'm going to be able to get out, but we'll see. But in the meantime, you enjoy your summer. You work through this crappy energy that may be bugging you. Get rid of that and move forward and enjoy your summer. All right, Aries, I love you all. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.